What's up? JC, Raw and Strong. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, make sure you subscribe. Hit the bell. Don't miss nothing. We just getting started. Today I'm going to tell you a story about how I covered up my gang tattoo and what came about it. Hey, what's up? This is JC, Raw and Strong. So I used to have a gang tattoo on my neck. If you can't notice it now, it's because there's a big black blob of ink right there. So, you know, when I went into doing my Fed time and I got into the RDAP program, I decided that I wanted to changed my life. I started going to school. I learned how to read and write. Well, I still don't know how to write, but I started getting really addicted to books and reading and knowledge. And I mean, I'll put a picture up. I must have did over 30 programs, from typing to computer basic stuff, and just classes after classes. I became very addicted to knowledge. I wanted to learn more, because for a long time I used to believe that I was dumb. For a long time I let people convince me that I wouldn't amount to nothing, that I wouldn't be able to learn stuff. So once I actually started learning, it became very addicting to me, and I wanted more and more. So and that's what I became a personal trainer. I'll never forget, I had this friend, his name was TY, and he had a book in his locker that said How to Become a Personal Trainer by the NFPT school. And I picked it up, and I remember saying to myself, like, I could do this. Like, I could work out and get paid and tell people what to do, and I wanted it. Like, I started like dreaming about it, and I needed to make changes in order for me to be able to make it out of there. I was in the RDAP program, and it was very strict with like the gang stuff and handshakes and all that stuff, and I was really ready to make the full commitment. I was ready to change. I was ready to leave all that stuff behind. And I called a meeting with all the Land Kings and sat down on the table with them, and I told them that I didn't want to do this no more, that I didn't want to be part of it no more, that I didn't want to, that I didn't want to be down no more. I was tired. I wanted out. And I'll never forget that day, because the guy that had the yard for us, Frankie, told me there'll be consequences. And that guy didn't like me from the get-go. He didn't like me for the reason that when I got there, all the guys took a liking to me, and they wanted me to actually have the keys to the yard. They wanted me to run our car. This guy was salty because he had been down 20 years and was power hungry. He wanted to feel like in charge. So he didn't like me from the get-go. So when this opportunity presented itself, he was like, there's going to be consequences and you're going to have to pay. And I was like, yeah, you're right. And I got up from the table, and they warned me, and I was like, cool. So that day I went into my cell, and I started getting ready for work, because I worked in the kitchen. I had a knife in my cell, and I was conflicted with if I should take it with me to work, or, you know, I was scared. I'm not gonna lie. I was scared. Scared for my life, scared for what was about to happen. You know, you could catch 5, 10 pieces real quick when something like that goes down. And I have to say, man, I got down on my knees and I prayed, and I went to work, and I was in the kitchen stirring up some of the meat that we were making that night for chow. And one of my buddies that was another cook, you know, ran up to me and he was like, hey, they have all your boys. And I was like, who? What are you talking about? And, you know, I ran out to the window, and I seen them escorting about 25 of the Land Kings out. You know, they were in handcuffs, everything. The marshals were there. They had been under investigation like way before I even got to that yard, because they were like bringing phones in with one of the guards, and I guess the guard got caught and he told, and it was just a real big investigation they had on them for a couple of months actually already. And that day they came in and got them, and I was like, honestly, I took that as a sign from up top that I had another chance to get my life together. I had another chance to like make it home, change my life, and be somebody different. You know, I went home that day, and I just kept on thinking. I was like, wow, man, like this is it. Like, I'm gonna be able to do my time in peace, do the drug program, get the time off my sentence, not have to go to the yard to, you know, hang out and politic and all this bullshit that you have to do when you're part of a clique. And, you know, so the next day, the guys that were left, they call me out to the yard, and I go out there, and they're like, hey, so we want you to take over the yard. And I was like, no. I'm trying to get away from you guys. I'm trying to do my program. I'm trying to, you know, do something positive with my life. And they were like, well, we just, you know, we just want you to guide us. There were a lot of youngsters, you know. They just were looking for guidance. So I told them, I was like this, hey, I'm going to come out, I'm going to work out, I'm going to go to church, I'm going to go to the education department, I'm going to read, I'm going to better myself, I'm going to do a class for personal training. If you guys want to roll with me and follow me on this journey, then let's do it. And to my surprise, man, a lot of them were actually down and happy that all this positive stuff was going on, you know. And I came to realize that, you know, I just had a lot of bad teachers in my life, and sometimes a real motherfucker needs to step up and be a real leader and guide people, kids, because they were kids, lost, and show them some kind of positive, you know, of meaning, or something, to be part of something. You can still be part of something positive, just like Wrong the Strong is nowadays. Like, I have a big crew. We do all positive stuff, though. It's not a gang. It's an organization, non-profit, a way of life, a lifestyle that promotes fitness, change, sobriety, like all this stuff. So, like, you know, I learned that second chances do happen. In my case, it wasn't even really a second chance. It was like probably like 9 or 10. But, you know, me covering up my tattoo was a big change in my life. And, you know, me doing it in prison was a gutsy move also, because it could have ended up really bad, but I was ready to take that chance. And, you know, I'm not gonna lie, after I covered it up, you know, I got on my knees, man, and I cried, because I felt like I had erased a whole part of my life. Like, I didn't know who I was. I didn't know where I belonged. I didn't know I didn't know where I was going to start. And I had to find myself again. I had to find JC. I had to find Wrong and Strong. And I had to be a man and stand up by myself and come home and make the changes that I had to make. And this is where I am now. This is JC. I am Wrong and Strong. And that's my story.